Alright, here we go. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the 27th episode of Dungeon Masters of Entrath, the one and only HEX TCG game show, where I design a dungeon full of perils for you to try to beat your way through. If you win, you're not supposed to see that deck. If you win all the way through, then you win the grand prize. If you lose anywhere along the way, then the dungeon resets, or well, the dungeon doesn't reset. The prize pool grows for future challengers, and your run is over. Matches are best of one. The format is commons and uncommons only. No rares, no legendaries in your decks. Immortal format. All sets are allowed. As always, we have a couple chat commands to help out. You can type exclamation prizes to see what the current prize pool is, and you can type exclamation rules to pull up a Google document that has all the rules written down in print to look at your convenience. The prize list is rather small right now because last week 10 Moons came, saw, and kicked ass. Oh no! Artifaction, aka Nicholas IV, Ivy hosting the stream. And we see that the new hosting notification is working properly. Nice to have all of those things tested. Of course, if anybody has questions on how the dungeon works, as always, please let me know, and I'm happy to answer those as well. We run the show every Wednesday from 5 to 8 p.m. Pacific time. Next Tuesday, I will be doing 2 episodes of Dungeon Masters of Entrath. I will be doing an episode on Tuesday, which is the 6-month anniversary of me doing this weekly show, and then I will be doing an episode on Wednesday at the normal time as well. Full disclosure, I had planned next Tuesday's 6-month anniversary stream to be a very hype event. It's going to be a lot more toned down than my original vision. My original vision for the 6-month celebration stream is going to happen, but it's going to be delayed. And I'll kind of talk about what event that's going to be coming up here. But as always, if we have anybody in chat right now who's played before or is a new player and has a deck that is ready to throw down and challenge what's left of the dungeon, please let me know so I can start putting together the queue of who is going to be playing tonight for the shot at some glory. And while I'm taking names here, I can start walking you through some other things. So 10 Moons knocked out one of the 4 pillars of the dungeon. So when we started this dungeon, we had 21 different decks and 4 final bosses. 3 out of the 4 final bosses have been defeated, and 3 out of the 4 bonus rooms of the dungeon have been defeated, leaving only the rooms remaining that have not been scribbled out. So there's just 1 final boss left. All players start in room 1, and then from there move on to different connected encounters. Room 13 is the sole remaining bonus room. If you are able to defeat that encounter, you will win a Frostheart draft pack. Otherwise, you can make your... and that is guaranteed even if you lose somewhere else along the way. Alright, so Stigma Buster's ready to go. There goes my entire plans. Yeah, the pillar that you'd been trying to bang on has been knocked out by somebody else. Now you have to go through the Avatar of Ruby. Good luck and have fun. But go ahead and, Stigma Buster, I know your in-game name. Send me a challenge when you're ready. Yeah, the final boss, the only boss left is probably the hardest boss. Not gonna lie. But, that's what remains to total dungeon victory, and then we're gonna move on to something new. I do have a 4-deck series built. Should this pillar actually fall tonight, and we have time remaining, we will carry on with new stuff. I have enough stuff built to provide new challenges from that point on. Okay. Oh, they're ready. Okay, and so this deck, one. You would think I would have this memorized by now, but I still have my handy cheat sheet in front of me. Okay, there we go. So we're loading in now. So the 6 month of Dungeon Masters of Entrath stream that I have that I'm delaying because I need assistance from people to get there. I'm going to keep this, but it's risky because it doesn't have a blood threshold. No, you know, every dungeon I have designed to date has been one player versus the dungeon master. You competing against me, trying to win prizes and personal glory. What I'm trying to build here is a little bit different from the game show vein that this is, and it's a little bit more like HEX TCG meets Dungeons and Dragons. Well, rip on not drawing a blood shard. Where what I'm trying to do is build a Hex raid, where I am building special dungeon, special decks, a special dungeon, and a lot of homebrewed rules on how encounters play out and the shenanigans that happen between encounters. And then I will be getting a party of at least 2, preferably up to 4 other players. I've been trying to get some streamers, some other Hex streamers to assist, but coordinating multiple people's schedules has proven really hard. Mistakes were made with that keep. Where I would have other people in like a Skype call with me where I'm the one streaming, but everybody's voices can be heard on chat, and there'd be a lot of witty banter, a lot of back and forth, some interplay between the contestants on how they influence what happens in the dungeon. Hey, there's the blood threshold that we so desperately needed. So that's kind of the plan. Is it's going to be its own unique show, and an enormous amount of planning goes into that as a one-off event. So I've got a lot of decks I need to build. I've been trying to coordinate schedules with multiple other people, and that's why it needs to be delayed, is there's so many moving pieces to make that kind of a thing happen. But I think when it does happen, it's going to be super cool. Alright, so pile of nuts. This is Raptos is rocking the transform strat here. I'm going to go ahead and trade these. And hope there's not a combat trick. There could be a runic, nope, there's a time ripple. Could have been worse. Time ripple allows us to replay that and summon a bunch of dreadlings. Do I want to do that now, or do I want to butcher? And I want to go ahead and butcher this. Throw down the Dread Factory. Gonna take a fair amount of damage next turn. But Dread Apprentice now can basically auto-complete that Dread Factory. So some exciting things coming up on in Dungeon Masters of Entrath land. Oh god, I forgot just exactly how much damage I was going to be taking here. Alright, so that hurt. We'll sacrifice a Dreadling, of course. As you said last week, you're coming for room 13. Go big or go home. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm just going to auto-complete the Dread Factory here. Swing for the 1. Dead Go Nuts is a huge problem. Shoku's Garden helps with some life gain, but those beatings are just going to continue. Goliath, are you ready to roll? Should I be adding your name to the challenger queue here? So far we just have Raptos officially committed. Oh, ain't this disappointing. Need that second blood shard or this deck's not nearly as good. Six, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 potentially coming in if Kakunomancer. Okay, nope. Kakunomancer may or may not be used on the Bluebell Dryad here, but that's going to be a lot of damage coming in regardless. Alright, Battle of Destiny is going to take out the Dreadmancer. Alright, Goliath, and you're next in line. I even made a specific deck for Room 13, although if I remember their counter wrong, I'm going to look very stupid. Well, that's just death there.
Morton.
These plus pile of nuts is going to be way more than enough to push through the first room.
Walk away, or I will fire.
Morton, walk away.
Didn't realize that did trigger that when it doesn't trigger the Spell Song Sweeties. Alright, so that is the first room in the dungeon dead. And I'm going to pull up the dungeon map here. So from here, Raptos has room 2 or room 5 as possible choices on where we're going next. So I'll just wait for the answer so I know which one of those decks I need to load up, and then we shall roll. 5, I don't have an answer for the bird room tonight. Alright. Sounds good. Challenge me when ready. And I'm ready for you. EFOS, I didn't see in chat where you said you were ready until now, but I can add you into the queue. Remind me your in-game name too, because I don't know that I can't recall that that yours is the same. Maybe it is, and I'm mistaken. I don't have everyone's names memorized yet, unfortunately. Jocko Red, yes. Okay. Yeah, I saw you say sour in chat, and then there was nothing else. So, I'd only seen you say one thing. Alright, so I've got you down on my list here. Goliathus is going to be next, because I had seen them indicate readiness first. You will be third. Artifaction will be fourth. We are 15 minutes into the stream. I can comfortably say all 4 of you are going to get a run. If somehow the pillar falls and the 4 decks I have ready for future challengers all fall tonight, then we'll do a little bit of a replay, but traditionally people have not blasted me that hard. Alright, I don't think that hand is good. Look at this troll hand. Oh dear lord. Alright, this is called Keep and Pray. Because I really don't want to mull lower than this. Never didn't have it. Alright, good. So we got the Dungeon Master's a professional. He knows when to keep. So we have the 2 shards we need now for Determined Bushis, and that'll help make Iotachi Brute cheaper. See, look, 2 shard never didn't have it. Everything is awesome. If the dungeons live long enough, someone will auto-win straight through the dungeon on the whim of Kismet. This is called Hex Gods look down upon thee and saith, thou shalt get wrecked. It happens sometimes. Alright, that is gonna be left alone. Kismet giveth, and Kismet taketh away. So does that once per turn this transforms into a copy? Is that permanent? Or just through the turn? Well, that really wrecks hard. I'm gonna Pyre Strike the one that was originally the Whimsy Witch. Just to stop that. Golly, I hope that is permanent. Oh, that's so bad. That's so bad. Because now I need to find a combat trick to get through. Alright, I'm fine with that. I guess. I don't really have a choice. Alright, this is okay. Yeah, usually reverts since the transform types in set 7 have at the start of your turn revert this, so people get fooled. I thought it was just temporary. I didn't realize that there were ways to get permanency onto it. So I think I'm gonna run the risk of taking a beating here to get the Determined Bushi down to try to keep crashing in. Have a Pyre Strike up for this next turn. Alright, no swing out of the Vorpus is fine. Don't counter me. Alright. I think I saved the charge power. Throw down that 1-cost Iotachi Brute. Good wholesome fun for the whole family. Raptos now on 6. I would imagine there's nothing in the deck that costs more than that. Let's see if you have a trick. I can deal with that. No harm done. There is still one card in hand. Alright, so now Iotachi Root is free. Eager Lackey's gonna give us a thing. Vile Fang, third, sacrifice another troop, this gets lethal. Ugh, that's a... That in the business is a dud. That's a 1/4 with an ability we don't want to use. Raptors tossing though. Grandfather Elk, too much. GG. Well played. That early removal helped. Cisco failed attempts 2. Add a couple thousand gold. So I've got... Ooh, I need to... I have spent too much of my gold on Kismet's Preserve packs. I don't have enough gold to pay off the bounty right now. If somebody wins, I'm going to owe an IOU for the gold count. I'll be able to pay up on the packs and any rares. Calamero, the format is Immortal format, commons and uncommons only. So the exact same format that Function has been running on his Tuesday tournaments. The only difference is that for the dungeon, you will see that my decks use some rares and legendaries in the place of AI only cards to add a little bit of PvE flavor to it and some additional challenge. Why you gotta ruin Puff's parade, man? He just wanted to give the pillar a hug, right? I like the commons and uncommons only format too, because it makes it accessible for the widest possible amount of people. You know, so that nobody's really priced out of being able to compete. So Goliathus, you are up. Shoot me a challenge when you are ready. Jocko Ren is on deck after Goliathus. Not sure if I have you in my list here or not. Yeah, I'm thinking about doing something like what the constructed format was for the dev stream a couple weeks ago, where they said you can have a playset of one rare of your choice, and then I don't know that I'd do singleton for everything else, but maybe just say you can have one rare legendary card, 4 of, and that's it. Because usually people ought to have at least one that they in their collection that they'd be happy to use. I hope I'm spelling that right. Alright, I sent a whisper to Goliathus. I like to have the challengers send me a challenge, that way I know you are ready. Okay, hold on. I challenge the dungeon 2 if there's no one else after them. I own a lot of stuff, so I don't really need anything. I'd rather just have some newer players taking the spot. Yeah, it's more, I mean, I call it a game show. I want to have some prizes for folks. The prizes are what I can afford to give out, so we're not talking break in the bank. But you know, the stream's mostly for fun, having some kitchen table, lighthearted shenanigans, with a little bit of extra prizes as gravy. I don't like that hand. I like that a lot better. Calamero, I can throw you in on the list. Right now we've got Goliathus going, Ephos, aka Jocko Ren, is next, followed by Artifaction. So there's 2 people in front of you in line. But then you'd be up. And again, I stream until I stream until 10 p.m. Central. It's now 7:30 p.m. Central, so we're talking another solid 2.5 hours. All right. So bulkies were not really the draw you want this early in the game. They are the finisher. Any dreadling that lives until the end of a turn and then gets sacrificed at the end is going to deal 1 damage to opposing champions. And that can be a backdoor win condition. You exhaust all the dreadlings into the dread factory so they don't have enough to swing into blockers, and then they just die and deal points of damage. Alright, Goliathus is rolling sockets. Other socketed troops you control have +1/+1. Uh-oh. Ooh, possible assault triggers too, considering that the sentry swung in. Alright, so we're going to take a second blood here because that is the most important thing for this deck. Throw down Dread Factory and Shoku's Garden to try to get the Dreadling engine running. And just exhaust all of those for counters. And then watch them go and gain 3 health. Marshal Josephina could decree that the botanist is not allowed to block. Doesn't even need it because we're going to get locked down by another tactician. That's nasty. Alright, 6 damage, nothing can be done about it. I'm going to exhaust 2 of these here to finish off the Dread Factory and let the other 2 swing in so that at least 1 point of damage gets dealt here. Oh, never mind. Ha, 2 blockers. Derp. No damage was done this day. So I'm going to take down the challenge notice for now since our queue is at least 4 people thick. As always, if you do wish to challenge the dungeon, feel free to speak up. But we have enough people to keep us going for a while here. That is 10 damage. Okay. Still 5 resources up. This can't attack, this can't block. Did I miss? Why? Oh, that's got to be Josephina. Derp. Dungeon Master on prime mental ground today. In my defense, I did leave work early to sleep off a migraine. Decree of Banishing hits troops, so that's probably going to get rid of the Probe War Pair because that's the strongest troop. It does. So that's 8 in the air. We have no immediate response for. A Explosion would be great here. That is not an explosion. One more shard makes the bulkies playable, but at this point bulkies don't really help. Gotta be something that can take one of the flying Grimskull Tacticians off the board. Otherwise, Goliathus shall walk all over the dead corpse of Tharaz as the first room in the dungeon. Alright, so Burly Botanist doesn't change anything here. This is pretty much death. Yeah, it doesn't really matter, I guess, if those swung in or not. That's 3 health gained off the Dreadlings versus 8 in the air. So Goliathus is going to have the first deck defeated and is going to be moving on to the next one, and just decides to kill the Burly Botanist to rub it in. Yeah, I got the victory. You thought you could live? No life for you. Third Grim Skull Tactician. So we can't even pretend to block here because everything is going to get locked down. And so that'll be 8, 10 uncontested damage. And that's round 1. So I'm going to pull up the map here again. I'm fairly certain we're going to room 5 next. I believe, if I recall chat correctly, yep, made a specific deck for room 13. So fairly positive Goliathus wants room 5 here to try to make a run for that bonus room. And I'll just wait on the challenge. So I just sent along another Whisper here. Alright, room 5 confirmed. I'm going to take down the map. And this deck. Alright, so the same path Raptos had tried. Let's see if Kismet is as kind to us this time around too. Yeah, this isn't the strongest possible hand, but I will definitely take this because we have 4 shards to play things, and our threshold situation is automatically good. So there's no way I feel like I'd be a fool to throw this out. And we're on the draw too. Hopefully not a shard. Kismet, I said not a shard. Alright, Web Spinner, Cenobite. When one of your cards would conscript an underworld troop, create that many +1 instead. When you conscript, this gets +1/+1. Probably just a 2/3 is all that will ever be. There's an outside chance if we find another Eager Lackey that actually finds some more upside than that. Alright, but can go ahead and swing to power up the Fire in the Hole and make Iotachi Brute cheaper, pass it back. No plays on turn 2. Attempt to get that free point of damage. Now Arendelle Monk is going to come down. Yeah, Marshal Josephina is not one that you see too terribly often, at least not lately. Especially one that is playing Sockets Matter. Canyon Runner. Next troop in your deck gets all the socketed powers of this, and it has life drain. Okay. We have means to deal with that. So these two swinging next turn would make Iotachi Brute free. And Pyre Strike can be played to take that out pre-block, so that both of those sail through. Feed the Flames works too. I think Feed the Flames is better because it's basic, and because right now 3 damage is all it can ever do. Where this can do 4 damage and Void, and that's going to just keep getting bigger. So let's feed some Flames. Swing for the hills. This only hits a troop, right? Yes. Free Iotachi Brute. Marshal Josephina's power would put a significant crimp on this. Diligence, this gets +2/+2 and Spell Shield. Right now it does not have Spell Shield, so it can be targeted by Josephina, which is what Goliathus does, so that it'll be a 5/5 that can't attack. Because it can't attack, the ability is going to end up going away. Yeah, if Fire in the Hole hit face, yeah, it'd probably be a little... I suppose it'd be a little bit too versatile and too good then. And that was a dud hit on the life drain. 0-3 life drain. Oh noes. Alright, but we found a Surging Wildfire. Good news, fam. Kismet likes the Dungeon Master today. It does 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 damage coming in.
What you started.
Necropolis coins played on our turn for 2 damage to draw something else, which would hopefully be more relevant for their next turn. Okay, so this version of the Imperial March is safe. There were a couple Star Wars songs I had in my playlist before that I thought were safe that were actually getting things muted, so I had to cut those out. Alright, so the sentry's being thrown under the bus to stop the Surging Wildfire, which is probably... This is probably one of my favorite uncommons of all time. When this attacks, it deals damage equal to its power, and it's still swinging in with Rage. Such an amazing uncommon. Scion of Nulzan, Flight and Swift Strike. Yeah, we got this. Removal. Dome face. Wild Ruby putting up dukes tonight. Alright, good games, Goliathus. Trying to punch through to room 13 for the guaranteed draft, but couldn't quite get there this time. Alright, so I need to... I forgot in my prep work that I needed to run through my list of rares and see what I had to give out. So for prize pool, I'm just going to put TBA rare X1. As a reminder, I need to put another rare in there. Sorry, it's been a crazy week and I'm a little bit sloppy on my prep today, but that's alright. Things will get out to people who are owed if a dungeon falls. What is up, Peace Stinker? How are you doing tonight? Alright, So we've had a run from Raptos, we've had a run from Goliathus. Up next is Jocko Ren with Artifaction on deck. And Calamero, if you did want to challenge the dungeon, let me know. You know, if you're a for sure. Okay. And yes, you do. I assume anybody, of course, you want to challenge me. Okay, good. Calamaro, what's your in-game name? GAC. I wrote this down here. Quoren. Oops, wrong chat screen. Calamero. Well, ain't that easy enough. Okay, I've got you down. So traditionally what I have been doing is when everybody who's around and is interested in challenging the dungeon has had a run and there's nobody else who hasn't had a challenge tonight, then I start from the top of the list again and we'll just start systematically running names. Are you still here? Do you want to go again? Are you still here? Do you want to go again? And then if there's anybody else who has never challenged the dungeon and then they speak up, then they get threaded into the list at that point. Yeah, Artifactions is confusing. IGN, you'd think IGN would stand for in-game name, and then Nicholas IV. So yeah, that's going to confuse a lot of people there. And as soon as Jocko Ren is ready to roll. That was a funny episode on 5 shards. As soon as Jocko Ren's ready to roll, we will start our third challenger of the night. I'm certain if there's a Hex account with the name Nicholas IV, they get so many random emails winning prizes on streams I wasn't paying attention to. That would be funny, like, just somebody wondering, why do people keep sending me things? That account exists. Well, there was another person, I haven't seen them active around Hex in the forums for a long time, but there was another person who went by Thrawn, which created a lot of confusion between some people, especially in the original forums. But I think at this point I've pretty much claimed the name where people don't confuse us anymore. Yeah, so Ethos. Still here and ready. Otherwise I may jump to Artifaction and circle back. We'll give EFOS another minute here though. So yeah, I want to thank everybody for coming, hanging out. You're watching Dungeon Masters of Entrath, of course, the Hex game show, which I run every Wednesday night from 5 to 8 p.m. Pacific, or since I'm based in Minnesota, that'd be 7 to 10 p.m. my time. Where I design specialty decks for players to play against in the name of personal glory, feeling like a badass, having lots of fun, winning some prizes. Next week will be the 6-month mark of running this stream, so I'm going to be doing a double feature next Tuesday and Wednesday. If you did not catch it at the beginning of the stream, I have another special event that I'm in the planning phases on. It's not going to be ready to go for Tuesday. But besides the normal dungeon shenanigans that you see here, I am also trying to design a co-op raid-style dungeon where I take on the role of a dungeon master, and it's a little bit more Hex meets Dungeons and Dragons, where I'm going to have 2 to 4 people in a Skype chat with me so that all of their conversation and our banter is a part of the stream, and they're all going to have to challenge me at different times and work together to coordinate who is going to play what deck to be able to get to the end of a dungeon. So there is a ton of work that goes into designing that. Coordinating multiple people's schedules to all be around for the same 3 to 4 hour block of time is a nightmare, I am learning. So that's why I haven't officially announced this on the forums or committed to a date yet, because there's a lot of work that needs to go into that. But it's something to look forward to. You know, keep your ears peeled. I will definitely be announcing it on the channel, as well as the forums and on Twitter when it is like really ready to go. Okay, I have not heard from Jocko Ren, aka EFOS. If they show up later, we'll circle back to them. But otherwise, Artifaction, if you're ready to go, shoot me a challenge and we can keep the action going. We were brewing something, it's not quite ready, and it got distracted by Hollow Knight. Well, I'm sure you got something to throw down with for us here. Gunning for the bonus from 2. Okay, Peace Tinker. Yes, Immortal format, commons and uncommons only. Those are the constraints you must play under. You will also notice up on the top right hand corner of the stream, I'm working on a follower goal. When I hit 150 followers, we're gonna schedule a special stream. Beware the power of sitting behind a pillow fort. Ooh, nice sleeves. The Into the Unknown animated sleeves. This is my first time seeing these up close and in person in the client. Very sexy. So as I was saying before I distracted myself, at 150 followers, what I'm going to be doing is scheduling a special stream where we throw up Netflix, and on Netflix is a very terrible movie called Cowboys vs. Dinosaurs. And we're going to do a special stream where we watch the movie together, and I'm going to be trying to give the movie the Mystery Science Theater 3000, you know, riff tracks treatment of making fun of it as it goes, and also trying to reinterpret and spin off what's happening in that movie as if it was a Hex story. So it could be awesome, it could be awful. It's going to be the first time I will have attempted to do something like that over the course of an hour and a half. But I have absolutely no problem making fun of myself and doing random stupid things, as shown by the fact that I will also stream Hex on a treadmill from time to time. That dude shaking on those sleeves. Alright, so this is a nasty combo. Paladin and Necropolis. When you gain health, each opposing champion loses health, which is going to happen every turn. Paladin of the Necropolis is basically a Nightfall or whatever the other one, whatever the blood version of that is. And right now, I just want to turn Dreadlings into counters for the Dread Factory because it's not gonna get through, and if it swings, it gets blocked by that. And then we have that whole song and dance of you gain, I lose. Yeah, so that's a frustrating combo by itself, but then when you get 2 of them, no swings, which is a bummer because I definitely wanted to butcher one of them. And ruining their attack power doesn't do anything to stop the combo. Huh. That really wrecks what this deck wants to do. Actually, that is a hilariously horrible setup for Dreadlings. Because boom, boom, you gain 2, I lose 2. Okay, I'm just gonna exhaust those. Skipping attack, yeah. Papa Goot is more than happy to sit behind a couple Paladins in the Necropolis here. And let our deck basically kill itself. Oh, and that Dread Factory we worked so hard to build? It's gone. Which means that now the Dreadlings have to swing in. The Paladins happily block, and we're punished heavily for bothering to attack. And I kind of think I want to let Papa Goot just kill us as fast as possible to move on to decks where the dungeon might have a chance. Because this is another situation of they gain 2 and we're gonna lose a bunch again. They gain 2, we lose 4. Punishment. Alright, this is called the Bonsai Charge. Because we're super dead. And Butcher doesn't do anything. And dead by combo. Alright, so that is a hilariously bad matchup if you're the player playing Dreadlings. Alright, and Artifaction's going for the bonus room as well. So we know which deck is next. Everybody wants to try to get that bonus room before the dungeon falls. Okay, this is kind of dicey because it's a little shard heavy, but it does have Arendelle Monk and it has a piece of removal. This deck is better positioned to deal with what Goot is trying to accomplish here because we can hit things for 4 damage without them exhausting first, so that's really nice. There were strangles in the Dreadling deck, but we never found them. Alright, Merciless Color. Each champion sacrifices a troop, so Eager Lacking can get thrown under the bus for the Merciless Color. Unfortunately, your deck is very similar to his. That's okay. I always say, you know, play what you want to play. There's no rule on any one person having monopoly over a deck type. But if your deck is very similar, then this is a kind of a trial run for you to see how your deck may fare. Alright, so there goes the Arendelle Monk. 'Tis a pity. So I kind of thought that that was gonna... I was gambling a little bit, but I thought that was gonna work. I'll sacrifice the lackey. Yeah, Peace Tinker, I'm going to add you to the list. Calamero is ahead of you, but only Calamero right now, unless Jocko Ren shows up again. But Jocko Ren was up, did not respond for a while, so for now we're jumping by them. Alright, so Twilight Eclipse is terrifying. Take 3, see what 4-drop we hit. I think I'd rather have the Bushi that can swing in next turn. Another Twilight Eclipse. Kismet, please. I mean, I guess that's alright. Surging Wildfire into the face of 2 Twilight Eclipses. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So almost got there. Look at all that health gain. That's dirty. And another constant comes down. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 constants. Oh, are we just... No! No! Oh no, Surging Wildfire is gone. Well, I can't deal damage faster than that. Yeah, just gonna Pyre Strike that because that gets crazy stupid. Large when comboed with those. Oh, I almost thought I misclicked and skipped attackers there. Alright, we just dead. Auto dead. Alright. Bonus room. Artifaction said they wanted the bonus room. Yeah. Figured it wasn't good. Alright. Artifaction has defeated 2 decks, is now into the last remaining bonus room. Playing for a guaranteed Frostheart draft pack. Alright, this is fine. Cremate is a little bad in this matchup, I think. I mean, it can smoke the little dudes, like that, but that's about it. Yes, correct. The bonus rooms are one time only. When somebody wins that prize, they are first come, first serve. They are sealed off. Right, one time only is in, yes, as in many people can challenge them, only one person can win them and walk away with the prize. Because if I screw up the balance on one of them and I make one too easy, I would find myself in a bad way with people farming me for draft packs. Do I need the second? Alright, I really want the second one there for the Heart Embers, but I want to get an Arendelle Monk down to be able to start attempting to get that spell shield if it's not removed first. Farming helpless streamers for draft packs is my forte, though. I had one dungeon where it certainly felt like I was being farmed. I made those decks way too easy. That is how we learn. One Arendelle Monk gone. Try this again. I'd much rather lose an Arendelle Monk than a Heart of Embers. So we're going to swing in with the thing that'll live. Throw down Heart of Embers. Remember to use my charge power to get another Valor. No! No! So that's gonna be a 4 health swing every turn. Alright, so put a Valor on that, put a Valor on that. When you play now, Satyr's Roost Bard, it'll get +1/+1 for each Valorous troop. So now that's a bigger body. Swinging with those. Pray somehow the damage dealing is fast enough. Another Twilight Eclipse. Yeah, I think that's probably death next turn. Ooh, I can scrounge Heart Embers. So we're gonna scrounge Heart of Embers to take that off the board. I don't think this is enough. That's 10, that's 4. Oh my god, that's enough. I think. The Pillow Fort is complete. That's 6, that's 10, that's 14, that's 17. No! No! Of course, removal. Of course. Well done. The bonus room has fallen. Oh, I thought I was going to get that one. Nope. Had the repel. Never didn't have it. Alright, so the bonus room 13 is now closed for business, and I need to send Artifaction a draft pack after the stream. Alright, so that is guaranteed prize. And now, yeah, the only path left is straight to the boss fight. I'll take the map down as soon as I've got my deck picked here. So it's going to be rooms 9, 14, and 18 now in a linear sequence to get to the end. This is not the greatest hand, but keepable. Goot health gain is also pretty good against red deck. I want to kill you as fast as possible, with avenues for gaining life and basically making victory take longer. Gotta take those free points of damage, get down Wolverine Basher, pass the turn, and see if one of this deck's ultimate threats wants to show up in the next turn or two. No, that's not one of them, but it's not bad either. Burning that would mean that it can't block the Yeti, so that there's the possibility of swinging in with 3 3s next turn as well. So I think I go that route with it. All the thresholds online. First constant down. Needs double blood for some of the shenanigans here. Okay, so could probably want to take this out as bad as it is to 2 for 1. That's going to be an additional constant source of health gain. I don't think I do it pre-combat. Do it like this. Because now I can finish it off with a crackling bolt. You fell into my trap! Alright, so Goots at 9. No immediate health gain. Okay. Show me a non-resource. Oh, sequencing pain. Should have done the ability first, and Matriarch of Flames would have been bigger. Avatar of Ruby manages to steal it. That's one of the god cards. Oh, hey, look at that. Hashtag spoke too soon. This still looks pretty good though. We gotta burn to the ground before it died. Can swing in for 4 damage next turn. You can only repel so many times. Show me what you got. Rip. GG's. The Avatar of Ruby is very tough. But the longer the game runs, the better your chances usually are. Really, I thought I had gotten Nightbot out of the channel. Can I ban Nightbot? Nightbot is now banned. Alright, because I had shifted everything over. I'd shifted all notifications over to Streamlabs, so I thought I had gotten rid of Nightbot, because Nightbot is no fun. It likes to rip chat more often than I would care for. So my apologies. I have banned Nightbot and told it to shut up. So hopefully that does not happen to you again. But yeah, you're timed out for a whopping 5 seconds. So demolished elitists like every turd every dime. Well, yeah, it's all right. That massive 5-second timeout. There you go. Good. Fixed. Just had to swing my mighty ban hammer on a lowly bot. All right, and I need to update the prize list. Oops, am I in the right? All right. So we're gonna add another 2,000 gold to the I'm going to OU stash. Alright, so Calamero, you are up. I need to take a very short break here, like 2 minutes, just to make a quick bathroom run and refresh my water, because talking is thirsty work. But then I will be right back, and Calamero, we will start your run. Peace Tinker, you are on deck. Okay, I am back, and I'm going to send a whisper to Calamero. Alright, challenge me when ready. Artifaction says, by next Wednesday I'll have an amazing, all capitals, deck for your game show. So, Weakness. I don't know if I'm blind to this random topic, but when I'm watching other streamers, I know Function goes for drinks every now and then, but I don't see streamers very often seeming to like be consuming much of the old water on stream, and I don't know how that's even possible, because all of this talking is thirsty work, and on any given stream I will down like 3 glasses of water at least. So I don't know how other people can do with like few to no water runs. Maybe I'm just like not paying attention to it. You have a giant thing of water when you stream? Well, good, you're smart then. Alright, so this needs a shard. I'm gonna be a little bit greedy and risk and keep it. You know what? Play the Blood Shard first, because another Blood Shard means Strangle's online. I also almost never drink and stream. I did have a beer before I went live, but it's hard enough to focus as it is without alcohol muddying the waters. Calamero says, I don't think I'm supposed to say good luck, have fun to a dungeon encounter, but have fun watching Twitch. So, I mean, I guess Dread Factory is playable, but it doesn't really do anything right now. And so really need to find a shard on this next turn, or I'm going to be sitting here looking silly. And we're going to sit here and look silly. 2 Dread Factories and nothing to pump them up with. Alright, so running shards is the name of the game now. Ooh, Rime Claw. Frost form, but it's in full form right now. Has a 1-shot to get invincibility. Alright, and we are getting burned. Kismeth giveth, and this time Kismeth appears to taketh away. No shards. Hey, there's a 3rd shard. Alright, so Probe Warp here first. Can block the Rime Claw if Rime Claw swings, and that would force the use of the invincibility. So I would guess probably not a swing here. And this is gonna hurt. There is Strangle though, but no resources or no threshold for it yet. Oh, hey, there it is. So I want that dead before you have a turn. Please don't have interaction for that. Whew, okay, good. So that is 2-3 health for them per turn. I'm not swinging. I don't know if it's correct or not. More health gained. Yeah, it's painful. Nameless Gamer Squad has pledged allegiance to the Empire. Thank you for the follow. Much appreciated. Hope you have been enjoying the game show and our shenanigans tonight. Alright, so gonna just kind of keep trying to get counters. Would like to get some removal here. Hey, maybe Kismet's starting to listen. Because that's going to get explosively huge super fast. Twilight Eclipse is just so good, though. And now that's 31 health to try to run down. And an Empowered Mesa Totemist. That's horrifying. Alright, so Explosion is rather useless against that. That's not going to really take that out. It can stop Rhyme. This can stop Rhyme Claw, though. And I think that's the way to use it. Invincibility is not going to save you. Because you have no attack and defense. Alright, so now 4 Dreadlings are being made a turn, which is nice on paper, but maybe too little too late in the face of that baby. Never touch water. That stuff is dangerous. Look at how big that ballooned. That's a 28 Swift Strike. Which, of course, must be blocked. Oh! And now there's 2 of them, so rip. And don't have the charges for the charge power. So we'll swing in as a token show of defiance. But pretty dead. Pretty actually literally dead. $28 Swift Strikers. Seems good. Alright, so 4 stacks down. Now the bonus room is closed off. I haven't updated the picture, but room 13 is not on the table anymore. Calamaro does have the choice, though, of facing room 2 or room 5 before getting locked in on the final run. So there is still one choice to be made here. My lucky number. Oops, I'm typing in my... Alright, here we go. Take down the dungeon map. Everybody rolling against 5 tonight. Bethron's itching to know, so don't tell him. Don't tell the dungeon master our secret tech. He can't find out until we're ready to crush him. Is that pretty much what's going on over there? Maybe a little bit too over dramatized, but that's how I picture everybody who's trying to take down a dungeon. So Deep Gaze Disciple here. When a power is shifted onto this, it gets +1/+1. So basically, it's just a 2/3 flyer. I don't think I've ever sounded that high energy. I'm pretty sure I was born 50 years old. I can manufacture it for a little while, but I'm an old man. I go to bed at 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. If one of these streams is hopping, it's practically like a crazy late night party if I'm up until 10:30. That's because I can't sleep in anymore. Even without the assistance of an alarm, I am up by 6:30 a.m. every day. And no, for the record, I'm not happy about that, but I would much rather be a late at night person, but it doesn't work that way. go to bed at 9, 10 o'clock in the morning at the latest, Kappa. I have a couple friends who make fun of me because I'm an old man about my bedtime. One of them has a legit reason because he's an ER nurse and he's used to working shifts that can go from like 5 p.m. till 1 a.m. or from 4 p.m. to 4 a.m. So he's used to being up super late. And I have another friend who, for some reason, she just likes to stay up ridiculously late, and she will often watch Netflix or something until like 3 in the morning and then go to bed. And I'm like, girl, by the time you went to bed, I already had 6 hours of sleep. Gotta pop off. Hex Ladyfriend wants to warmonger in Civ 6 and is linked to my stream, so I'm out for the night. Well, thanks for hanging out. Have a good night and have fun wrecking face and civilization. I think I want to save the champ power for Surging Wildfire or to push the last points of damage through. Calamaro really threshold screwed right now. Okay, you'll be in the stream still, just can't challenge the dungeon. Sounds good. I will pass the turn, then I'm going to cross you off. No. I'm going to cross you off of my queue so I remember not to swing back around to you later in the evening. So, Righteous Paladin and a Brittle Rhymeclaw come out. I'm going to fire in the hole the Righteous Paladin before it can get bigger. These are pretty much one-off per game show anyhow, haha. It started becoming that way, kinda, sorta, a little bit, just because I'm finally garnering, you know, it's nice to be garnering enough interest. I think I throw you down, and then I use charge power on you, which maybe is a bit of a squandering of it, but that gets most of the damage through, and Calamaro concedes. That was some rough shard screw early on. Take my cat treats with him. Yeah, you were stuck on 2 for a very long time. So that loss, I think, can be very largely attributed to the whims of Kismet. And, okay, so where to go? That was failed attempt number 5 since the prize pool reset. And we're going to add another Frostheart booster pack into the current prize pool. Luckily, we've been powering up through the queue, so you may just be up shortly. Well, everybody's been going to Room 5 tonight, and Room 5 has actually been pretty successful so far. It's pretty much how I always lose in tournaments, is Kismet saying, "Thou shalt not have shards." Alright, so Peace Tinker. Peace Tinker is our next contestant on Dungeon Masters of Entrath. Leather Cheerios, aka the alter ego of Pandemica, if I am not mistaken. What is up? Alright, so Whisper. Your name, I am quite certain, is the same. You have also been here before. You'll prove tonight Peace Tinker doesn't always win. The game is not... the system is not rigged! Alright, so Peace Tinker is our first, second, third, fourth... Peace Tinker is our 5th challenger of the night. Love to see a lot of different faces coming in and having a go at the dungeon and having some fun with us here. Yes, that's the deck. He'll swing for lethal in the boss room, then concede just to prove a point. Ooh. This may be the first time we've seen Gladiator in the dungeon. Alright, once again, I'm going to be greedy and keep. And probably regret. But we're just being consistent in our attitudes on sketchy hands today. And getting trolled because got a shard, but it's not the color we wanted. So, Torque Slam Sticks. For 4 charges, troops you control get Gladiator 1 until the start of your next turn. Gladiator deck is rough. Best aggro you've seen in Pauper/Silver. Uh-oh. So you're saying I should brace myself. Alright. Crafty Scrap Shot. 3/2 Swift Striker. Alright, the wild shards need to stop now, and we need some bloods. Be glad I loosened you up a bit. Just breaking down the Dungeon Master bit by bit. Hey, there's a blood. Look, see, those are in the deck. Alright, there's literally no reason for you to swing in, so we'll just exhaust you. I actually probably could have and should have swung in with that, but then I won't have a blocker against this stuff. You had some threshold issues, but Goot has the ability to draw out of it. That it does. Okay. So that's a lot of damage. That's 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Which I'm going to be a chump and take. And hope I don't regret being so cavalier with my health total. Alright, these dreadlings I let swing in. Throw down the Brilly Botanist, because I can exhaust 2 things here to get that completed for the next turn. Okay, only swings in with the 6. And right now I'm not certain that I want to give up half my health. So I think I'm gonna throw this under the bus. And then finish off the Dread Factory here. Ire Maw. You may have this battle target opposing Diamond, Ruby, or Sapphire troop. So it's not going to battle anything, but it is another thing with Gladiator. Alright, Shoku's Garden is going to help buy some time. Dread Apprentice is going to help make some more Dreadlings. Tharaz is going to make all of them much bigger. and I think 3, 4, those two combined can't kill the Burly Botanist, so yeah, I'm gonna swing with it. So that is a lot of damage coming in. That's 4. Okay, there's. You can. I learned you can right click or double right click to break them up out of a stack. So that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 25 points of damage swinging in. And we're going to get back 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 points of health too, thanks to Shoku's Garden. And that is a big deal against a deck that wants to smash our face in. So these two might just block Dreadlings so that they can stay alive to fight another day. And that is what they do. Oh, I should have swung in. Well, that couldn't have swung. That could have. I missed lethal. Shame. 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 He jumped the 5/5 and killed the Botanist, yeah. Nope, he tags out. GG's GG Peace Tinker. So I guess I should say GG's plural because it was only one. Okay, so let me see. That was attempt number 6. I need to go TBA to be announced rare times 2 because I didn't build up a queue of giveaway rares in advance. All right. So if anybody is in chat and has not challenged the dungeon yet tonight and would like to challenge the dungeon, please let me know. And I'll get you in the queue here. Otherwise, Peace Tinker completed the run of everybody I had written down, so then I will go back up to the top. If we don't have any new challengers, then Stigma Buster, aka Raptos, if you're still in chat, you would be the next person up. With Goliathus on deck. So I'm going to give it a second. Stigma, if you are here and want to play, let me know. Puff and I are ready, okay. And then I'm going to give it another second for anybody else to speak up. Otherwise, it's going to be you. You would, but all I've got is the typical Goot, and that's not very entertaining to watch. Entirely your call if you want to play or not. We've seen a couple people run Goot tonight. So, nothing wrong with that. Yes. You have 3 different Goot decks, yes. Uncommon and commons only. And immortal format, so all sets are fine. I'll send you a challenge. I think your name is the same. Throwdown! I am happy to throw down with anybody who throw downs. Anytime, any deck. All are welcome to challenge the Dungeon Master. there's no elitism here. Okay, this may be the best starting hand this deck has had tonight. Turn 2, turn 3, probably turn 4. Some removal for something, possibly. The Goot decks are traditionally not terribly troop heavy, I am finding, as people throw down against me. But there's still some things I'm sure Explosion's gonna be able to hit. Okay, so Vesper will get bigger with more constants. Alright, so we want Dread Botanist first because Dread Botanist will start cranking out a Dreadling a turn. Shoku's Garden next turn so that we can start profiting, and then it's going to be my flavor of health gain versus your flavor of health gain. Uh-oh. Nothing on 2? Every game today I've been shard screwed. Yeah, stuck on 2 is not a happy place to be. Shoku... Yeah, the health gain has stolen some matches that I otherwise definitely would have lost. So this is nothing on 2 again. Should probably just have 3 3-drops and 3 4-drops ish. I think just hammer in Dreadlings. I mean, we gotta do our thing. But this is another one where really I take no credit or claim any skill for what is happening right now. That's all Kismet. Hard to play cards with no shards. That's a bummer. Well, you tried, Grinch. Can't hold out. Can't. Well, like, I know you can be mad about that one, but not at yourself. You didn't do anything wrong there. The deck just didn't want to give you any shards to play with. Which sadly happens sometimes. Alright, so we're adding another 2,000 gold into the prize pool. Prize pool stands at 18,000 gold. So if somebody actually wins tonight, I'm going to have to do an IOU because I need to sell some more boosters to replenish my gold after anyone have a 56 shard deck? You should talk to Artifaction, aka Nicholas IV. He has some PvE decks that are almost entirely shards. I know he can tell you a thing or two about I think it's Zakoi. Alright, so that completes our list. So we'll start from the top, and Stigma Buster, aka Raptos, go ahead and send me a challenge when you are ready. And with about an hour and 15 minutes left in the stream, we'll start trying to give some folks second chances. But we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've had 6 different players step up and have a go at it tonight. That's pretty good. I'm really happy to see that. There were days where I would struggle to get, in the early days, where I would struggle to have players where it'd be just 1 or 2 people taking turns back and forth challenging the dungeon. You know, it'd probably help if I sent you a whisper, wouldn't it? No, /Raptos is not a command. Yeah, I like the last month and a half at least, maybe longer. Never had trouble getting challengers. Which is really great because you know, to be able to have a game show, you need 4 things. You need prizes, which I can furnish. You need a game show host, so basically I need to show up. You need an audience, which is all you in chat, because it's not much of a show if nobody's watching. And you need challengers, because otherwise there's no game show if nobody's playing the game. So I'm very appreciative of, you know, the gradual building of the channel, people showing up consistently on a Wednesday night to play. I've been having a heck of a lot of fun with it. Hope everybody else has been having fun as well. There is a forum thread kind of buried a few pages deep in the thread in the Hex forums by now, because I haven't really bumped it recently. But there is a forum on the thread about on the official Hex forum about Dungeon Masters of Entrath. If you have any feedback on things you like about the show, things I could be doing better, that's a great place to leave some commentary for me. I'm also available on Twitter. My Twitter ID is ThroneOmega, same as my Twitch handle here. You can also reach out to me there to offer you know, praise, constructive criticism, feedback, whatever works for you. Wednesdays you get off at 4 p.m. Pacific. Takes you anywhere from 1 to 2 hours to get home on the bus. But you can try to check in when you get home. Fair enough. I stream 3 hours, so 4 for you is 6 for me. So you'd be usually home between 7 and 8. So you may miss the first hour of my stream, but it sounds like you'd be around for most of the last 2. Where'd Stigma go? I thought they were still here. Oh, okay, yeah, still showing up in the moderator list. Okay, there you go. You ninja AFK'd on me. I didn't know where you went. It's all good. I sent you a whisper. You should see that in your chat. Oops. I keep typing in Twitch chat when I mean to type in Hex chat. Alright. Show me what you got. Also, a reminder to everybody, I forget to bring this up. It's in the print rules, but I don't talk about it often enough. You are not required to use one deck to beat every single deck along the dungeon run. Yeah, keeping that just feels loose. You are allowed to change decks between every single match if you wanted to, as long as every deck you're using meets the dungeon rules. There are some times where a dungeon deck is pretty tough, like the Ruby deck that was shown earlier tonight, where sometimes people want to make a deck specifically designed to try to hate out an encounter and give you the best chance to beat it, and then switch back to something else. That's completely fine. By all means, you can do that, and that's why I have challengers usually send me the challenge when you are ready, because then I know that you're locked into the deck that you want to use for an encounter. That way I'm not kind of pressuring you with a challenge of let's go, let's go, let's go, because maybe you need a second to change your deck. Make sure you knew which one you wanted to use, and that's totally fine. I took the wrong deck. This has rares in it. Yeah, this is turn. I've played a shard. We can reset. When it's this early in a dungeon run, you know, first deck we played one turn. If somebody goes, "Oh crap, I grabbed the wrong deck," I'll let people reset. If it gets into the second deck and you manage to beat me without playing any of your rares, and then you go, "Oh crap, I picked the deck with the rares in it," then or you play that deck and don't. I mean, I suppose I'm a little more flexible than that. If you immediately realized you grabbed the wrong deck, I'm not going to wipe out your dungeon run and say, "Well, too bad, game over." If you recognize it right away. If we're pretty deep in a deck, yeah, I guess it's kind of time depending. Alright, so this deck, or this hand has lots of removal and not much else, but I'm going to go ahead and keep it because it's got 2 blood, so removal will be usable. It is a wild shard, so hopefully we'll draw pretty early on into some of the combo pieces that lead to kills, but instead we're going to draw a wild shard. So the first several turns here, basically not a whole lot that we can do besides play shard pass. And I probably strangle Whimsy Witch. I'm going to strangle it before... I don't know if there's counters in there, but I don't want to risk anything getting the benefit of a transformation trigger off the witch. Alright, so there's a pile of nuts. There's a Spell Song Sweeties. All the shards today. I keep forgetting to... I don't change decks when a dungeon's gone live, but I do want to change the strangles for the AA strangles. That's a change I'm okay with because it's functionally the same card. Alright, this feels bad to play that for no Dreadlings. But I need to find a way to get something into the crypt to start the scrounge game. Oh, Poppy Pixie. No! Alright, so I will throw Dread Apprentice under the bus here to preserve health total. Oh no, that's permanent! That's actually slightly worse, but it's still permanent. No! No, don't do it! Don't do it! Ah! What do you even do to play? Okay, you're just an 8/8, but still. We have Butcher, it's okay. Gonna have to use it. No Rage Fires in the deck because it was transformed, not deployed, and they wouldn't be terribly helpful anyway with no Ruby Thresholds to play them. Has a sads. Dead Titan of Voktar. Those are polyberries, not boonberries. So they're not sentient. Okay, 5 resources. I think I'm going to throw down the Shoku's Garden now. The Poppy Pixie's not the big threat, although a pile of nuts swinging in is going to be terrifying. This just feels like one of those games where at the end I'm going to go, man, I just got slapped down by Raptos' big bag of nuts. That's 4 in the air. So now Explosion is off the table as a means to deal with it. Alright, throw down Purple Repair. Because it's a thing to do. Okay, and this time the squirrel's coming in. Excuse me. So I'm gonna... It's a little risky, but I'm gonna eat all of that. Oh man, really? Okay, so lots of health gain, I guess. So that plus that would not be lethal. Guess we get 6 health, 2 health per Dreadling. And we have ways to make a bunch more. So we might actually be sitting pretty now. Okay. 6. I think Bulky comes down first. And so now Bulky, any Dreadling that lives to the end of the turn is gonna deal that point of damage on the way out. We're gaining 2 health and can create 3 more Dreadlings next turn. I smell a trap. I'm not going to block the Badger. I smell a trap. And I don't want to lose the Bulky. Alright, so the Merry Squirrel gets activated as a blocker here. Threshold doesn't matter. Alright, so we can permanently get rid of the Witch. Two of these are going to get through, which means 4 points of damage. 2 for the initial hit, 2 for being sacrificed. And once again, Shoku's Garden, MVP. again, I can afford to take this hit. So I will. And let's murder a badger. Into charge power. Six, yeah. That was what the doctor ordered. Man, it was looking bad for a while, but those Shoku's Gardens were saviors. Alright, so we're going to update the prize pool for number 8. Add another 2,000 gold to the prize pool. Alright. You had Go Nuts in your hand that you were trying to bait me into? Yeah, it's the one where you transform something into a squirrel and draw a card, right? Yeah, I smelled trap, and I did not want to give up my bulky because I thought I'd get... Because at that point I had a couple Shoku's Gardens down, I had some avenue to gain some health, and get some value off the Dreadling, so it's like, I think I can afford to take the hits. So I wasn't gonna... I wasn't biting. Goliathus. You would be up next if you are still here and still wish to have another go at the dungeon tonight. Okay, looking at the viewer list, if my viewer list is wrong, I apologize. Don't see Goliathus in chat anymore. I was so mad when you butchered that 8-8. I'm like, that's really strong. And that is what's removal's for. Bang. Just... I'm just sitting there going, I have Butcher in hand. I really hope you swing with this, because you're giving me so much value by throwing a couple polyberries into it. I think Goliathus is gone. Ephos, if you are here, you're showing in the viewer list. If you are around and wish to challenge the dungeon because we bypassed you the first time, let me know. Artifaction is busy, watching but not able to challenge the dungeon, so it would be up to Ephos, aka Jocko Ren, if they want to play. They're up. If they don't speak up, then Calamero is up. So it's going to be one of those two. Calamero, if you're here and ready, let me know. That way I know for sure who would be up. And Peace Tinker is out, does not appear to be here anymore. Okay, Calamero's in a draft match right now. Afterwards, they be ready. Yeah, Butterfly Shenanigans is great. Turning a temporary squirrel into something even bigger and permanent is awesome. I love doing that with Holiday's Whim whenever I manage to pluck one of those out in a draft. What's up with people not wanting to play against Blood Sapphire Escalate? I've had a number of people lose match 1 and then make me sit for 5 minutes until they've... Really? That is unusual to me. I haven't encountered that deck much on my run up the ladder, but I've been playing a Ruby Diamond Sockets deck, and I haven't had much problem with that matchup. I will happily play that deck because I tend to win against that deck. At least I've beaten it the 1 or 2 times I've encountered it. Like I said, small sample size, but it doesn't seem... I guess with the right deck, that deck seems manageable because I think I've watched Jeff play that deck enough to understand what it's trying to do. That's a manageable deck. That is not one of the decks that I would peg as, oh, I hate this deck, I'm never gonna play it. Which kind of is how Mono Sapphire Uzu sometimes made me feel, and how Wintermoon definitely makes me feel like all the time. People who've watched me on some of my exercise streams know I get salty whenever Wintermoon shows up. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's up with people not wanting to play Blood Sapphire Escalate. Deck's fair. Alright, so no sign of Ephos. Calamero is tied down at the moment. Yeah, you play it because it's fun, which is fair. Yeah, not necessarily the best. Well, right, I think it's a beatable deck, which is why I don't know why people would rage so bad. you're running into the salt harpies, I guess. So let me see here. Grinch Victe, I think if nobody else speaks up to us and challenges the dungeon and wants to, then you would be up next while Calamero's occupied. So let me know, Grinch, if you want to have another try at it. I'm going to take another very short break to refill my water and take another bathroom run so that I'm not uncomfortable mid someone's run. But then we can rock if you are so inclined.
You're walking in the woods. There's no one around and your phone is dead. Out of the corner of your eye, you spot him. He's following you, about 30 feet back. He gets down on all fours and breaks into a sprint. He's gaining on you.
Okay. I am back.
Hard, but you're all turned around. He's almost upon you now,
And let me see here.
there's blood on his
Grinch, I will send you a whisper here.
everywhere.
Alright, I sent you a challenge. Feel free to, or a whisper, feel free to challenge me when you are ready. And we shall continue on our shenanigans.
Now it's dark, and you seem to have
Also
lost
looks like you have something of a pauper conscript deck.
stranded with a murderer who
Yeah.
creeps silently through the underbrush.
Conscript has been used before. It has not been used in a while though. I think it's been a few weeks since anybody's
Stealthily toward him.
run that kind of a build.
Ah! It's caught in a bear trap.
Alright. Grinch Victe running the goot. Hopefully he has better luck with the shards this time. Alright, this is keepable. It doesn't do anything until turn 3, but there are things that can
You limp into the dark woods, blood oozing.
that can start doing their thing. We've got
You've beaten Shia LaBeouf.
well, you kind of need to get one of those into the crypt, I guess, to start going off with other combos. Hopefully this isn't too much of a do-nothing keep. Adamanthian Scrivener comes down to start the whole health gain action. Naturally. Alright, might as well go Blood Shard again. So Strangle's online. Adamanthian Scrivener's not worth a Strangle. It's really not a big enough threat for that. Got the third shard. We have a game, folks. So that means things in the deck are going to be playable. I'm probably going to, you know, I would imagine take 1 point off the Adamanthian Scrivener, which is the Christmas alternate art, I should note, where it was given a little bit of a hat and the, whatever you want to call that, not a scarf, shawl, drape thing, was changed to be a little more Christmas festive-y. Yes, managed to get something off a real hand this time. Okay, really, the deck really wants us to play some Dread Apprentices. I mean, it's a real shame we have no Dreadlings. Three Dread Apprentice with no Scrounge game is just sad. Alright, so this is just disgusting. Another Dread Apprentice could get played. Dark of Night. Okay, so that actually, in a sick way, helps us, because now we have a thing to scrounge next turn to start a little bit more Dreadling generation. It's unfortunate to be losing a point of health a turn, but and Twilight Eclipse is bad news bears. Alright, time to find a way to... There's the fourth Dread Apprentice. 4 in the top 12. All 4 of them were in the top, like, 12-ish cards of the deck. That's, crazy. So now the scrounge party can get started. Is it gonna be in time? Oops. I didn't want the bot up. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay, second Adamanthian Scrivener comes down, 2 health gained. That's not going to be strangleable right now, is it? Thankfully it's not quick, and that only powers up the attack. Okay, so I think this can be strangled at their end step. Before that goes bananas. That health gain, though, is legit. Alright, so I'm going to throw down a Burly Botanist here. The only possible hope is to get a massive Dreadling swing going here. Otherwise, I think Grench Victe has this game in the bag and gets to move on to round 2. And the Burly Botanist gets taken out by Dark of Night. So now there's 2 Nightfalls, 4 total constants. That hurts. So that probably means there's not enough time left to do what needs to be done. Especially without the help of a Shoku's Garden to give us health for every dead Dreadling. Yeah, so 3. Okay, so I kind of overextended a bit here too, because those 3 swing in, 1 thing I can block, 2 points of damage gets through. The next turn, basically the constants kill us. Okay, so that not swinging really just delayed the inevitable. Was really actually pretty worthless to swing with that, because that block of course is a thing. But we're dead anyway, so it doesn't matter. Alright, so that is the first dungeon, that's the first room down. And now Grange Victa has their choice of room 2 or 5 as the next step in the journey. And then from there it's a linear path, because 3 out of the 4 bosses of the dungeon have been defeated. We have just 1 boss remaining, and then this dungeon has been 100% cleared by all the challengers, and we will move on to a new dungeon. I have 4 decks built, so I have enough for a playable path at this point, but we can always add more. Alright, I've only seen 5 and it's scary, so you're gonna go 2. Alright, we're changing it up. Room 2 for the first time tonight. Go ahead and send me a challenge when you're ready, as always, and we'll bust out the deck. Completely different style than what Room 5 is trying to do. And again, I want to take a moment to thank everybody who's been hanging out, anybody who may have popped in. You are watching Dungeon Masters of Entrath, which is the one and only Hex-themed game show that I run on my channel every Wednesday night from 5 to 8 p.m. Pacific, which is 7 to 10 p.m. my time. I design a series of decks, as you are seeing here, for players to challenge. If you manage to beat your way all the way through the dungeon, you win the current grand prize. If you lose at any point along the way, then your run is over and the prize pool grows for future challengers. The first episode of this debuted on February 8th. So next Tuesday marks the 6-month anniversary of the show. I will be streaming on Tuesday night as just kind of a bonus stream. I'm kind of rewriting my plans on what to do that night. I would like to do something a little bit hype to celebrate, but I'm not going to be executing my original plan. One thing I am working on is kind of a side project that's Dungeon Masters of Entrath adjacent, I guess, because it's not really a game show, but I'm trying to do a special Hex Raid night, which will be a special stream where it's kind of Hex meets Dungeons and Dragons, where I will have a dungeon built and I will continue to my role of the Dungeon Master, but I'm going to have 2 to 4 players in a Skype call with me, so that their conversation and their banter back and forth with me is a part of the stream for everybody else to hear. And they will have to take turns challenging decks in the dungeon. There's going to be some special, real homebrew house rules going on as to how those encounters work. to make cooperation between players matter more, so that it actually feels like a raid and not just people taking turns fighting me. So that is something that's in development. I'm working on the decks for it. I'm working on brewing up the rules with a few other people, but getting multiple people all to be open at the same time for this idea to work has proved challenging, which is why it's not ready to go for next Tuesday, and I want to give it time to really kind of promote it and explain to people what it is that we're trying to do, so that when that stream happens, it's kind of, you know, as well promoted as possible. So kind of like bringing mercs into a dungeon a little bit. How do I kind of explain where some of the things are at? It'd be a little bit like, yeah, which one of, yeah, it would be like mercs in the sense of which one of you wants to fight this encounter, except you only have the vaguest notion of what the encounter is beforehand. I think I want Flock of Seagulls here as a chump blocker. I'll throw it on the Cloud Runner post-combat, but start trying to rage in to counter health gain. Nope, just kidding. Hawk's dead. But one example of a little bit of PvE flavoring to it and ways that matter is one of the house rules that's in development for this raid is that the person who is actively playing me cannot watch the stream, so that they don't know what is in my hand. But the other party members of the raid party who are not actively fighting me can have the stream up to see what is in my hand, and they can cheat and give the other people warnings about what's in my hand, except that to be able to give warnings, they cannot name the cards. They can't say, hey, Thrawn has a Cloud Runner, and they cannot say what the card does. So they can't say Thrawn is holding a 2/2 flying troop. To be able to give their teammate a warning, they have to kind of be a little bit oblique about it, you know, kind of role play and be vague but giving hints. So, you know, a hint could be Thrawn has a troop that will be able to make itself stronger. You know, Thrawn has the ability to return something from whence it came. You know, so just kind of some form of roleplay-y hint. I sequenced this badly here. If I had played Cloud Runner first, or the Gargoyle first, it would have gotten a point of attack for the Cloud Runner connecting there. So that's a small error on my part. I always notice the mistakes right after they've been made. That is the Dungeon Master way. Cloud Speaker has a one-shot to give target troop you control a flight +2/+1. That costs how much? That costs 2. So I think I'm going to play that as a butt, just as a blocker for now. That can't swing in anyway, so I'm going to swing in with these two. Hope that there's not another repel here. There's not a repel, there is a Frost Blast. I could use Time Ripple to return... Yeah, I'm going to actually use Time Ripple this way. I'm going to use Time Ripple to return the Cloud Speaker, or the Cloud Runner, to my own hand, so that it doesn't die. Unfortunately, it cannot be played this turn, so it's going to have to sit, but we'll be able to get it back. And the path to victory here, as you can tell, is raw air superiority. 6th resource doesn't really do anything for us. We're going to throw these down. Swing with the one thing that can swing. And it gets the Dark of Night treatment, so that one's gone. Which is exactly why I didn't put Cloud Speaker on it. Because I want to try to stagger that around. And I think I'm going to wait on the Cloud Speaker power because I think whatever I draw should be playable. I don't think this deck's casting curve goes above 4 resources. Alright, so another Vesper comes down. No swings in. Granch probably looking for Twilight Eclipse here as their most efficient path to victory. So Evolution, target troop you control gets flight, and then troops you control with flight get +1/+1. So now all of these are bigger. Hilariously enough, Cloud Speaker can now target itself to make it a 3/6. And now we swing in for 9. And then I'm going to go ahead and use the charge power here just to nerf some crackback. So that the only thing that could hit is the Vesper, and the Vesper can get eaten by the flock of seagulls. Prevent all combat damage that would be dealt to this. So they are a fantastic chump blocker. Alright, so all the troops we control already have flight. But let's make them bigger. Swing in, so that's 8, that's 11. And Fiona Honeyfinch again, just cause. Pretty sure that's game, Grinch says. Twilight Eclipse is late to the party. So Flock of Seagulls is just stand in front of a 4/5 happily all day long. Shard doesn't change anything, so we'll just swing here. That should be it. Fiona Honeyfinch shows up for the first time tonight and gets herself a victory. And good games to Grinch. Alright, so it is 9:30. I probably have enough time for only one more dungeon run tonight. Because I usually wrap up the stream at about half an hour from now. So if there's anybody in chat who has not had any opportunity whatsoever to challenge the dungeon at all tonight, please let me know and we can get you in. Otherwise, Calamero, I would say, is next. Swing back to you in the order of things. So we'll give it a couple minutes for any new players to pipe in. Or we'll give Calamero a second crack. Okay, Calamero confirms ready, so we definitely have one more run. Only got that one deck. That's fine. Totally fine. One deck's all you need. Alright. At least that was better, best you've ever done, but that was bad still. Don't worry about it, Grinch. Like I said, we're very laid back here. Almost all of my regulars have been wrecked on the first room of a dungeon at least once. Several of them often more than once. You know, it's all about having fun. If you're having fun, we're doing good. No shame in wiping out on the first run, second run. We've all seen Shard Screw, so you know it's all good. Fiona Honeyfinch can be pretty bad for people who aren't expecting it. Okay, so I've given people a minute here, accounting for stream delay. Haven't heard from anyone, so we're going to say final run of the night goes to Calamero. And I have sent Calamero a whisper, so we can get this party started. Alrighty. Calamero's muting and minimizing, and then we'll get this show on the road. I am definitely one of the edge case poster children for I really wish Hex had deck folders or some better scheme of sorting your deck lists than to just straight up and down scroll. Because as you can imagine, doing a show like this, I build quite a lot of decks. This dungeon, when it debuted, had 21 to choose from. And that can create quite a headache of finding the right one sometimes from just that whole list. So right now I have to rely on basically naming conventions to clump my decks together or make sure I know how to find them, which is a little bit annoying. We make it work, but I will be the happiest person in the entire Hex community if they announce a feature that involves better deck filtering and sorting. So that I can put all of the decks of a particular dungeon in one folder and just go boom, 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 and start clicking down the list when as people make their run. Alright, so Calamero dropping a Fate Weave Shard, one of the ices, making decisions on whether or not they want another resource or a non-resource card. Sporting that Hero Fall Evo Gauntlet sleeve. Ours here was found in the Wheels of Fate. And honestly, that's not... Maybe I need to change that sleeve. The elf, color-wise, I like the way it looks. But it's not very, it's not thematic for this deck. This isn't an elf deck. This isn't Valor's. We're all about slapping our opponent in the face with a swarm of dreadlings. Also, worth noting, two Shoku's Garden in the opening hand is obscenely good. Like, practically unfair levels of good. Because the amount of health gain that we're gonna start gaining health faster than Goot can do it, unless a Twilight Eclipse happens to show up in the near future. That would be a problem. As is the Paladin of the Necropolis. Thankfully, Strangle's here. So I'm going to go ahead and immediately strangle. Throw down the other factory just for sake of resource efficiency. But the Paladins and the Necropolis are so insanely punishing to Dreadlings. So every time they block a Dreadling, they're going to gain a health. Dungeon Master loses a health. Alright, throwing down the second Shoku's Garden for max level Dreadling health gain here. And we'll see if this game devolves into the crazy, silly life gain swings that I had in similar to one match against I think it was Artifaction, where the health swings turn to turn were absolutely insane, and that particular game was highlighted. I know I uploaded it to YouTube as its own thing. I think you can find it in my Twitch highlights as well as like the craziest game of Dungeon Masters of Entrath history, because that one pretty much was like, in the 6 months I've been doing this, I think that game versus this deck was just nuts. Alright, so I'm going to throw down the Dread Apprentice. Let's make some more Dreadlings. And feed them to the factories here. And now we're well on our way to assembling our win con, which is let the health gain battle commence. And there's the Twilight Eclipse. Okay. 3 copies of Daybreak down. Okay, so 2 Dread Factories. Okay, Probe Repair is a 5/5, and at the start of your turn, it loses an attack and defense and summons a Dreadling in its place. So I think feed these. Actually, you know, I'm just going to greed and feed them all there now. Maybe a little bit loose. What's up, Greedy Jawa? How are you doing tonight? Hope you are well. You are catching us at the tail end of our episode tonight. Calamero is going to be the last challenger of the dungeon tonight. Just be fair and give you full disclosure. Man, the health swings are going to be real now. So Calamero's got Twilight Eclipse, 3 Daybreaks. That's 4 damage and gaining 4 health every turn. We're actually outpacing that right now with the Dread Factories. That is a problem. That's going to get very big. That is going to get very big. No real point. Don't want to swing it with either of these. I think bodies need to be left. A body needs to be left behind for sure to be thrown under the bus if that swings in. So we're at 36 to 33 for health. Go from 36 to 46. Only lose down to 42. So yeah, we're net positive on health right now. Versus Constance. But look at how big that got. With all the health gain triggers, that is a 26-8 Swift Strike. So, even though we have the health, I'm gonna just hard pass on that. We'll let a troop die. Oh man, that's another thing that's gonna get huge fast. Diamonds favor each opposing champion sacrifices a constant. No, I have to lose a constant. So do I want to lose a source of dreadlings, or do I want to lose? I think I have to give up a garden because I want the source of dreadling generation. Alright, gonna butcher that because that is a huge problem. Swing it with this. Need to find some more removal. Again, we're gonna have some swingy turns, but the Righteous Paladin is a very good get for Calamero because it just became a 6/6. Fate Weave probably for a non-resource if I was a betting man. Alright, so Well of Ancients gets us to the point where I can do this now. Throw down Bulky. Bulky has, when you sacrifice a troop, this deals 1 damage to each opposing champion. And then we use the Dread Factory to exhaust every single Dreadling. So they don't swing it at all. And now every single dead Dreadling deals a point, is going to basically deal a point of damage. Turns out I still have your Pauper Swamp Butt that's been heavily altered. It's now Ruby Sapphire instead of Mono Ruby. It's just under a weird name. That's always nice when you find a deck, you're like, oh hey, I still have that thing. Alright, so I don't know that... do we even actually deal any net damage? Alright, so that's... yeah, I'm gonna protect my health total. I think we're now losing the numbers game. That is way past the point where it can be strangled. So, just 1 blocker. I'm gonna swing with everything and risk walking right into a Frost Blast. Or a Repel. Yep, that was dumb.
Shit, not again.
You knew the risks and you walked right into the trap. You walked right into the trap. Alright. So, still gaining health, but the numbers battle, the numbers are going to start declining for us, swinging in Calamero's favor. Yep. Good job, Dungeon Master. I can't read that. Kimuchi Bear has pledged allegiance to the Empire. Sorry, that font didn't show up very well against the battle board. Thank you for the follow and joining the channel. Hope you've been enjoying what you are seeing. And even though Nightbot is banned, apparently those notifications are still pop. You still hear the audio there too. Making yourself invincible does not save you from strangle. Oh yeah, this is going to be over quick. We got Death Star. We got Death Stars. Yes, the good old Star Wars gangster rap.
Force will be with you. Always.
Alright, so I'll play the Dread Apprentice. Make some Dreadlings. Swing. On kind of a 1 to 2 turn clock though. Calamero looking very good to move on to the next. Because that's now an 18-18. That is a 26-8. And our board is naked, so all hail Goots. Your life gain is the superior life gain. So that is the first deck down. Alright, and with 3 out of the 4 final bosses of this dungeon defeated, there's really only one choice to make along the run. Bonus Room 13, for those of you just tuning in, was defeated by Artifaction earlier tonight. I just haven't updated the photo. Let me try Room 2 this time. Alright, so Calamero is going to go to Room 2, and then from there it'll be 9, 14, and 18 on the way to the final boss. Huh. I mean, I think I keep it. 2 air superiority is good. Needs a second Sapphire. Needs more troops. Lead on a Sapphire Shard so that if we find another Sapphire Shard, Thunderbird is playable. Now, Air Superiority is an old card, so those of you who may not be familiar with it, troops you control with flight have +1/+1. So it's a blanket boon to all flying troops, which is almost every troop in the deck. Alright, but this is kind of a worrying order of events here. Need to find some shards. Do need to find some troops. Otherwise I'm going to have no choice but to at least jam down another air superiority so that whenever things show up... Well, I did say I wanted a troop, but Flock of Seagulls isn't playable. Revolution, target troop you control gets flight, troops you control with flight get +1/+1. So yeah, those flying troops, if we're ever able to play one, are going to be super good. But I think it's already too late. Time Ripple can bounce that to the hand. Calamero has enough resources not to care. Actually, Flock of Seagulls could get wrecked by removal, but it sucks up combat damage all day long. So until it's removed, we have at least an answer for that. Alright. Well, there goes one of the air superiorities. Fate Weave, sure.
Hey guys, Little V here. Hope you enjoyed
And whether or
the
not
video.
we draw a
And if
resource
you
is
did,
going to
feel free
dictate
to
what the
click on
next
these
play
other
is. Dark
videos,
of Night,
you'll probably enjoy them too.
of
And
course.
if you really enjoyed the video and want to help me produce more content like this, head over to my Bandcamp
So,
page and pick up an album or support me
Fiona
directly
Honeyfinch is
on
going to get
Patreon. Every
is
little
on
helps,
track to get slapped
and it
down
keeps my
pretty
lights
well
on.
here.
Rock on. Peace out. See you next time.
Throw out the gargoyle. Sadly, I think I have to take 7 to keep some sort of offensive presence on the board. Bounce it next turn. Dang it. So, took the hit to hope to have offense and got decreed. Alright, I'm gonna throw down the Thunderbird. Champ power to nerf these. Yeah, I'm gonna send that time ripple when it swings. This deck was designed well before Frostart came out. As a matter of fact, this was designed well before spoiler season even began for Frostart. So not well equipped to handle the kind of things that Goot's trying to throw down. And a Twilight Eclipse. So another resource really didn't help. And we're just dead, aren't we? Like, they don't need to swing. Yep. Calamero with Goot gets another win. And so now I'm going to pull up the dungeon map just for sake of something to look at between matches, but we are on a linear path now. Calamero has to beat 9, 14, and 18 in that order to win the grand prize. The grand prize is viewable by typing !prizes in chat. That will give you a link to the Google Doc where you can find the current prize list. I do it that way so that the screen isn't cluttered up with a big ugly list of cards and such. So 3 rooms to go. And let's see here. Next is the much feared The Ringer, the deck that probably has one of the highest kill counts in this in the dungeon. The Avatar of Ruby. Gonna greed. This feels a little bit like a greed keep because the first play is Flame Guard on turn 2, and we need to find 2 shards to get to Mama Yetis, and that might not be fast enough. Alright, so there's a third resource. One more and Mama Yetis are happening. Alright, no drop on 2. Because repel. I think I saved these. way too early to start shooting for the face. Alright, now I would actually really like to draw a Ruby Shard here. Get the Mama Yeti rolling. Start trying to bash through. Did not get the Ruby. Don't think I want to 2-for-1. These are quick anyway. I'm just going to pass the turn. That was a bummer to find nothing offensive. Calamero's going to Fate Weave. Do they need a... And they're going to Fate Weave again. Probably don't need resources anymore unless it's super important to find a second diamond threshold. Alright. They're now wide open for a Mama Yeti and Rex. Alright, it might be worth double burn at this point. This deck is not used to getting jammed. Alright, so you gain one, I lose one, so it's really a 2-point deal. Twilight Revenant. Well... Pay 6 health, this gets invincible this turn. Well, that's a good card for this matchup. Didn't pay the toll. Oh, come on, really? Really? I can't have a 4th shard? Alright. Well, if we don't draw a shard this next turn, then I'm gonna have to probably roll the dice with Benvolio to try to find one. Okay, there's the 4th shard. But I think it's too late now. That doesn't... Mama Yeti can't connect on a swing. Dark of Night. Of course there was a fistful of removal ready for just this moment. Ooh! Timed cycling of coin. Well played, Calamero. And the Avatar of Ruby. A rare chump performance. 2 decks to go. Next up is the Avatar of Blood. Oh, they declined, probably just because they wanted to see what my whisper was. Oh yeah, just had to look at what I had said. Yep, I didn't expect them to be ready on the challenge draw so fast. So Calamero needs to clear the Avatar of Blood. As their 4th out of 5 challenges in the dungeon run. Alright. This is decent. It's workable. We'll keep it. Shard really wasn't the draw I was hoping for, though. Now, as you can see with Tomb Swap, pull target troop from your crypt into your hand. This deck is I want things to die over and over and over again, and continue to get value from them. Deck. So, now that a Righteous Paladin is down, I'm going to just straight kill that before that can start getting big, and pass the turn. Twilight Revenant. So nothing in Crypt yet for that. Can only play one thing, so I think I'm just going to throw down the Dread Botanist, because that will make a Dreadling to sacrifice. Next turn to Takehiro's Power. So that's actually worse. Yeah, that's 4 damage because of Paladin and the Necropolis. Drawing all the shards. Alright, so they could Calamero could pay 6 health to avoid Hero Fall doing its thing, couldn't it? We're deep in the dungeon now. The Dungeon Master's gonna use some rares. I think that's Hero Fall proof. I'm just going to throw this down and get some Dreadlings going. Although 3 Dreadlings versus a health gain deck is a pretty minor poke. What I want to find here is the Death's Head Riders that would make Calamero sacrifice troops. Now I'm regretting not doing the Hero Fall, that I could have wiped all those out. Okay, so 6 resource. Can hit the champ power again. Off of a Dreadling. Get another resource. All the resources. So let's get any more of those out of there. And I guess throw down Relentless Zombie and just pass. Twilight Revenant's a big problem here. And I am not convinced that the deck has an answer. Alright, so that's 4 damage. Decree of Vanishing hits. The zombie, not super important what it hits really right now. Holy Flood, Batman! Alright, so we're gonna... This is not gonna work. I'm making this play on the preface that this is not going to work. But we're super dead, so we'll do it and see if our opponent makes a mistake. They did not make a mistake. They paid the 6 life to make that invincible. We actually did get rid of... one. So I guess there's that. But they played that correctly, so the Avatar of Blood is going to be pretty dead. Because there's 5. Again, Paladin and Acropolis instrumental in making all of this happen. Can swing in for 3. Actually, probably should have swung in with both. Because that would have been another point of health gained and then lost. Yeah, Calamero missed lethal there, but it really doesn't matter. Unfortunately, no Death's Head Riders were found to force troop sacrifices. That would have been an out to get that running into Tomb Swap early on. But they've got it on a block here. They gain a point of health, we lose a point of health, so we kill ourselves through Dreadlings. Final boss time! Calamero, final run of the night. Says, I'm going to make it a final run to remember. And makes it all the way to the final boss. Alright, so we'll wait for Calamero to send the challenge. So we know they are ready. Oh crap. Was I a dink and rename this dungeon? Oh, I haven't, see, it's been so long since I need to fix the deck. It has bad gems in it. So that's my bad. It's been a while since this deck has been run, because this has been a hard path. So I'm gonna throw up this real quick so that the gems are a surprise. And let me see here. Which deck is this? This one. And okay, which ones of these cards were... What had sockets here? Maybe it just... Did this game ungem all decks at rotation? Was that a thing that happened? Because this is Immortal format. Like, the gems I would have thought would still work, but it says that this deck's not valid. And funny enough, I think it was all for one card.
If you want to see more Star Wars Disney, leave your requests below, and the
Alright, so sorry for the unexpected delay here.
destroy you if the
Dungeon Master's a dink.
operational. Or not, which is how we might destroy you.
Valid for Immortal, yep, that's fine. Alright, pull this back up. Yeah, I think it was literally one card. It was literally one card. Alright, so now that the deck is fixed, now we will have the real final boss battle. So this is the Conscript Dream. Gonna keep the hand because it has both thresholds and it has some early drops in it, so we can work with this. You know, this deck might not even have rares in it, surprisingly enough, for a final boss. So, Droka Outcast first. Okay, because Droka Outcast, whenever you conscript, this gets +1/+1. So the conscript hits are going to keep making that bigger and bigger. And this Deepwood Droka is taking advantage of the Immortal format that conscripted troops are going to get Spell Shield. And that will hopefully here provide some protection against Dark of Nights. These are split 50-50. There's 4 of these in the deck, only 2 of them are gemmed with Spell Shield. Alright, so we'll take that 1 point of damage to counter the Daybreak for a turn. That is 2 Daybreaks. Alright, Rhyme Claw's not big enough to be dangerous on its own. Boy, wouldn't it have been great to find a 3rd shard? Deploy if you control an artifact, draw a card. Okay, so I have an extremely overcosted 2/3. That was a dud. Bishop Elijah, 4 charges. Put a troop with cost 2 or less from your crypt in your hands. That lets us bring back an Eager Lackey, a Blessed Scout, lots of choices. Alright, Twilight Eclipse early is not great. Still not finding a 3rd shard's not great. Throw down another Droka, just cause. I'll swing with all these. If the lackey's killed, maybe eventually we'll get it back. Earth Mother could actually be the secret way out of this. It's slow, but diligence gain 1 permanent resource. I really don't want to live in a world where Earth Mother is the way to actually like ramp up to being able to play for things. Oh, there is a rare in the deck. Grandfather's Totem. When you conscript, this gets +1/+1 and a keyword. Alright, so I'm going to conscript pre-combat. Another Earth Mother. To get that life drain, you might have a chance. Repels the bigger one. Yeah, I need to get big and get life draining. Pay 1 exhaust to gain 1 health. That's not good enough. Decree of Banishing. Pretty sure I should have kept a blocker. Alright, there goes the conscript. Now I'm going to need to. Man, not finding resources has been pain. Earth Mother doesn't even provide a resource immediately. Hilarious Leetroll. So swing with these. Actually, I'm just going to swing with the Earth Mother for the resource get. Leave this up as a blocker, play Earth Mother, because then if there's removal, there's still 1 blocker around. God, it's almost like Earth Mother's a card in the deck, and Earth Mother's not a card in the deck. Doesn't have speed troops, does have a nice suite of removal. And that damn thing. And that is what Bring to Justice would be for, if I should have played that. Yeah, there's enough attack power there to actually kill 1 of those. Yeah, missed the moon call. And I don't want to play the totem, or I don't want to play the totem until I'm at 4, because totem can go totem and then Eager Lackey to immediately give the Grandfather's Totem spell shield. And probably life drain too. I think it's too late. I think it's too late. And Calimero rolls in the final room of the night, final run. It says, bang, got you. Ha! Yeah, I don't have spell shield there because no double threshold. What a flippin' troll. We're just dead now. But no resources drawn. Had to make all of that crap happen with Earth Mother. There's no way out. There's no way out. Those constants are going to do it by themselves. So it has been like a 2-month journey, but the Labyrinth of Evil is about to go down. The final of the 4 pillars, defeated by Calamero. And yeah, it doesn't matter. Calamero is going to take it. Next week we are going to be debuting a new dungeon. I will say the rules for that are going to remain common and uncommon cards only, so that you don't have to radically alter the kind of decks you have been trying to build. But congratulations, Calamero! Calamero is our final challenger of the night, final challenger of the Labyrinth of Evil, and is going to walk away with 20,000 gold, which is more gold than I have. So Calamero, I'm going to send you 10,000 gold and an IOU for the remaining 10. Then you're going to get 2 Frostheart booster packs, Merry Caravan, Aspect of the Squirrel, and I forgot to build out a prize queue in advance. So I also owe you 3 other rares. So I'm going to dig through all of that. But yeah, so congratulations, definitely well played. And I want to thank everybody for hanging out with me tonight on our 27th episode of Dungeon Masters of Entrath. I will be back with a brand new dungeon for you, which will debut next Tuesday. Remember, I am streaming. You can just send 10k and put the other 10k in the prize pool for next time. Sure, I can do that. We'll start the next prize pool off a little bit sweeter. So yeah, I am doing Dungeon Masters of Entrath twice next week. Next Tuesday is the 6-month anniversary of the show. I'm going to try to find some ways to make it a little bit more hype. But we'll debut the new dungeon then. And then there will be another stream next Wednesday during our normal time. So you're going to get a double dose of Dungeon Masters of Entrath next week. Should be a lot of fun. I always have a blast doing these. Yeah, we'll see what cool new things we can do. In the meantime, I am going to throw a host over to Peace Tinker. It looks like Peace Tinker ducked out after challenging us and is streaming some draft. So I'm going to catch some sleep. I'm going to bid you good night. Hope to see y'all next week. And if you drop into Peace Tinker's channel, please do let him know Thrawn sent you. Have a good night, all.